All right, lesson 15.4, net profit rate. Your objective today is to find the net profit as a percent of the selling price. Your net profit rate is the net profit on an item expressed as a percent of the selling price. Our formula for today is net profit rate equals net profit divided by the selling price. Go ahead and press pause while you get this copied down and play when you're ready. Okay, let's go ahead and let's move on. Okay, example 1. It says Giant Discount sells a mini vacuum cleaner for $49.99. The cost of the vacuum cleaner to Giant Discounts is $23.74. Giant estimates the overhead expenses on the vacuum to be 30% of the selling price. What is the net profit rate based on the selling price of the vacuum cleaner? Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we've got to find the net profit. And if you remember from yesterday, net profit equals markup minus overhead. Okay? So, let's first find that. Net profit equals $49.99 minus $23.74. And that's going to give us our markup. Okay? And then our overhead, it tells me Giant estimates the overhead expenses on the vacuum to be 30% of the selling price. Okay, so the selling price is $49.99 times 0.3. All right. So to find net profit, $49.99 minus $23.74 is $26.25 minus $49.99 times 0.3 is $15. Okay, so it tells me my net profit, subtract that out, is $11.25. All right, now I can go use the formula that I got today, which is to find the net profit rate. Okay, that formula was net profit divided by selling price. So to find my rate, it's $11.25 divided by $49.99. Okay, $11.25 divided by $49.99 is 0.22504, which works out to be 22.5%. All right, net profit rate. Now, let's go ahead, let's look at problems. Problem number 1. Okay, go ahead and try to work that out. Press pause while you're working it and play when you're ready to see it work. Okay, so here we go. This has 3 questions. Find the markup, the overhead, the net profit, and the net profit rate. Okay, number 1. The selling price of a set of bed linens is $119.50. Okay, that's my selling price. The cost is $44.78. Subtract the cost off that, that gives us our markup. Okay, so this would be part A to find your markup. Plug that in your calculator. $119.50 minus $44.78 is $74.72. Okay, part B wants us to find our overhead. Okay, the way you find the overhead is you take the selling price, $119.50, and you times it by your overhead percent, which in this case is 40. So $119.50 times 0.4, $47.80. Okay, part C is to find the net profit. We take our markup, $74.72 minus my overhead, $47.80. And you should come up with a net profit of $26.92. And finally, part D, find my net profit rate. Take your net profit, $26.92, and divide that by the selling price of $119.50. $26.92 divided by $119.50 gives me 0.225, which is 22.5%. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's look at example 2. It says the corner music store operates on a net profit rate of 25% on its DVDs. If the markup is $11.98 and the overhead is $6.33, find the net profit and the selling price. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do again is find the net profit. Well, it already tells me my markup. So $11.98 minus $6.33 gives me a net profit of $5.65. Okay, and finally we need to find my selling price. Now, we're looking for the selling price. We're going to let X equal our selling price, and we're going to plug it into the formula. Okay, and the formula that I'm going to use is the one I got today, which was net profit rate equals net profit divided by selling price. Well, if I know my net profit rate is 25%, 0.25 equals 565 divided by X. Okay, let's go ahead and solve for this. Multiply both sides by X, and you get 0.25 X equals 565. Divide both sides by 0.25. And X equals 22.6, which is $22.60. Okay? That is not too terribly tough. Let's go ahead and you guys try problem numbers 2 and 3, and when you're ready to see them worked, or when you're ready to see one at a time work, press play. Go ahead and press pause now. Play when you're ready. Okay, so let's take a look at this problem. It says the general hardware store sells general purpose tools at a net profit rate of 28%. The markup on a pry bar is $4.98 and the overhead is $2.07. Find the net profit. Okay, so to find the net profit, we take the markup, $4.98. We subtract our overhead of $2.07, leaving me with $2.91 in net profit. Part B, okay, wants us to find our selling price. We're going to let X equal the selling price. Okay, my net profit rate is 28%, so 0.28 equals my net profit divided by my selling price. Okay, multiply both sides by X. 0.28X equals 291. Divide both sides by 0.28. And you should get X to equal $10.39. Okay? Let's go ahead and let's look at number 3. Okay, go ahead and try this one. Press pause while you're working it. Play when you're ready to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's work this one. It says Oscar Skate Shop sells skateboarding equipment and apparel at a net profit rate of 35%. The markup on a skateboard is $11.45. The overhead is $4.40. Find the net profit. Okay, so for part A, take $11.45 minus $4.40. Plug that into your calculator, and you should get $7.45, or I'm sorry, $7.05 for your net profit. Okay, part B, find the selling price. Okay, again, we're going to let X equal our selling price. Okay, 0.35 equals 7.05 over X. Multiply both sides by X. 0.35X equals 7.05. Divide both by 0.35. X equals, plug that into your calculator, and you get $20.14. Okay, for a selling price. Good job. Okay, here's your assignment, lesson 15.4, page 566, 1 through 19 and 23. Get busy.